Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Simply Stitched Crochet. My name is Christina. Welcome. It is another glorious Monday. Get your cup of coffee, get your glass of water, some tea, whatever you need to allow yourself to sit back and relax because that is what time it is. All right? So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my WIPS. I got my trusty dusty notebook right here because, as you know, I don't remember anything, so we have to write it down. And so I don't have to worry about remembering. So my first update on my WIPS is for the stitch and stream for this month's square. I did start. This month's stitch is the grit stitch. And I'm enjoying the stitch so far. It's coming along very well. I am having an issue though with curling, and it's probably because my foundation chain row is a little too tight, and maybe I should have started it with a larger hook. But I'm also wondering if I'm currently using a 6mm hook. If I just keep going, will it work itself out? So I don't know if you can see. It's starting to curl and like go in like this. And especially when I lay it down on the table, it's almost like a inverted rainbow. Like it's really curving upwards. So I stopped working on it today, and I'm either going to frog this and start over with a larger hook, or another option would be starting another one with a different color. So with the black yarn, which is the other color I'm using for the project, for my blanket, start another one with black and a larger hook to see what happens, if it solves the curling problem. But also, will it just work itself out? If I keep going, will the weight of it kind of pull it and it'll get rid of that curl? The way it's feeling right now, I honestly wouldn't mind starting over. It's not stiff, but it's not feeling as flowy as my last square that I finished. And it's just, yeah, the rippling, you can kind of see it there, is not good. So yeah, leave down in the comments suggestions. Should I just frog this? Try another? I guess either way, I probably feel like this isn't gonna stay. So frog this, start another color and wait to frog this. And we'll use gray next month since I'm alternating, so it doesn't really matter if I start another one with black. I'll just do a gray square next month. Yeah, suggestions, any type of input. But I think my foundation chain was just a little too tight, and I just need to go up a hook size. But give me some suggestions, or if you've done the grid stitch before, if this is normal and it works itself out once you've done a bit more. Any advice, input, leave down below. Much appreciated. So the next WIP that I have is one I'm so excited about. I did start a new shawl with one of the twister cakes that I got. I'm using the color Mermaid, so that's the yarn I'm using. And what better stitch to use for my mermaid colored yarn than the shell stitch? So this is what I have so far. I am absolutely loving working this pattern, working with this yarn. It wasn't hard it's not hard to work with, but it's a transition. When you come from working with 4-weight or 3-weight yarn, going to a 2-weight yarn, it was different. For this, I'm using a 4mm hook, and it's a simple 2-row repeat. I'm not following a particular pattern. I kind of watched a few videos of different of different shell stitch patterns, and then from there I just kind of made a decision on how I was gonna do it. But I will post a couple of the videos that I watched to kind of help me decide how I wanted to do it. It's such an easy stitch to do. And I was just, as soon as I thought about it, I was like, seashells, mermaids, perfect. Perfect in this color. Just take me under the sea. Just take me under the sea to hang out with Ariel. And I'm gonna bring her a shawl too. But I'm loving this. It's got beautiful drape already. As I said, I'm using a 4mm hook. And to be honest, I am having a little difficulty with the 4mm hook. I find myself, I do kind of have to have a bit tighter tension actually. So I'm thinking with this yarn, I could go down to a 3.75 hook, but maybe not, because this drape is beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely gorgeous. And it has been such a joy to work on this. And it's relaxing. I do have to count, but it's really not bad. I've been able to listen to podcasts while I've been working on it. I watched a couple TV shows over the weekend while I was working on it. It's just been a joy, a real joy working on this. And it's really also teaching me patience, and which is good because it's allowing me to enjoy this process, which is always something I want to work on with my crochet projects. It's just not feeling rushed, not feeling like, oh, I have to have it done right now, especially knowing there's certain things I can finish really quickly, like shawls. So working on a shawl that I know is going to take longer, it allows me to feel like, okay, take a breath, or be intentional even when I sit down to work on this. I, say, okay, I'm gonna work on this shawl. I make sure I have like my water, whatever I'm having to drink. If I want a snack, if I want to just sit and listen to a podcast, or if I want to watch something, I find I'm very intentional because, as well as, because there is some counting involved, I have to be, I can't be completely distracted by something else. So I would not call this a mindless project, but an intentional project. So I'm really, really enjoying this so far. And I'm also really, really trying not to start a second shawl while I'm working on this one. But it's just so beautiful. Look at that. Oh, and the color change is just, dare I say, immaculate? It's just seamless. It is a seamless color change. And I think, yeah, I was gonna say, I just started kind of getting to like a darker shade, so I can't wait to see how this ends up working up. So those are my 2 WIPs that I have. And as you can see, I am wearing my finished object. I did finish the beautiful friend shawl. So I will take this off, and this is it. Again, I don't know why I haven't figured out I need to like take a picture of these, because they're always too big for me to show the whole thing, but I will do my best. Just, oh my goodness. This is gorgeous. And I'm gonna put it right back on because it is so warm, but it's light, and oh, it is so nice. So I will quickly go over what I used. So I used Stylecraft Special DK in Pale Rose, and I used a 5mm hook for this. The only change, or I guess not change, but the only thing I didn't follow in the pattern was I didn't add beads to this. I didn't have beads at the time. I have beads now, but I didn't have beads at the time. But I also just I wasn't worried about it. I was just so excited to work on this, and I'm already planned with one of the cakes I got to make another one and add beads. So this is so nice. I have, yes, been wrapped up in this while I have been working on my shell shawl, and it's just been, I'm just living. I just have such a good time. I wrap up. I haven't wrapped up my crochet while I work on my crochet. I have had my water. I'm listening to something. I'm watching something, and I'm having a great time. I try to tell people crochet is a good time. Watch out. It is a good time, so come join anytime. So this was my finished object. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is some of my plans for the month. So the first thing is I did succeed in my February goal of trying to crochet every day in February. I did do that. So I'm continuing that going into March. I'm going to try to crochet every single day in March. It doesn't have to be for a long time. It doesn't have to be a lot. Even if I only get one row of something done or half of a round of something done, I'm counting that towards my goal of crocheting every day in March. And the way it's going so far, I'm gonna see how long I can go for. With no pressure. If I miss a day, I miss a day. It's okay. But I'm gonna just try. You know, working on being intentional, working on having this be some me time every day, whether it be for 10 minutes or an hour. Just making sure I really try to get that time in to spend some time working on my projects. I do want to finish the March square in March, try to stick on schedule. No, I have not finished the January square, but if I keep on track, then it's okay. When I circle back at the end of the year, I will finish the January square. But until then, I'm calling myself on track because I finished February on time and I'm hoping to finish March on time. It's been working up. Those 6 rows I did worked up fairly quickly. So once I figure out if I need to, you know, go up a hook size for just the foundation row or go up a hook size for the whole square, I think I'll be in good shape and be able to knock that square out very quickly. I also want to finish my shell shawl this month. I've been working, it is getting to the point where it's getting to a size where it does take me a bit longer to do a round. So sometimes I'm working on it. That's my fur baby down there, don't mind her. So sometimes it is taking me a bit longer to do a round, but that's okay. If I don't finish it this month, that's all right, but I am gonna try really hard to finish it this month. I also have somewhere I'm going next month that I would love to be able to wear that shawl. So I'm gonna be trying to work really hard to get that done this month. My next goal is I would like to complete 10 rows of my Georgia Peach blanket. I decided that I think I am gonna do ombre, solid peach, and then the ombre. I'm nervous because part of me feels like I should just use the yarn that I have, and whatever size it is whatever size it is. Or whatever size it ends up being, because I do want to, I'm trying to limit bringing more, yarn into the stash. I'm trying to use up my stash. And sometimes, that might mean something is not as big as I want it to be. And that's okay. That is okay. Can you tell I'm trying to convince myself that that's okay? And I think I did well because at one point the yarn was on sale last week and I didn't buy it. It was in the cart, but I didn't buy it. So I think I am going to, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do the ombre, the alternating with the ombre. I'm just going to do the ombre to begin and then all solid peach in the middle and then end with the ombre. So, we're trying to get that stash down, but if it comes in the house, it becomes part of the stash. So we still have a ways to go before we make a final decision. But needless to say, I'm gonna try to do 10 rows this month on that blanket. And then my next goal for the month is, and this is like my stretch goal, that will only happen if I finish something else. So I'm hoping that once I finish my shell stitch shawl, I'll be able to start another shawl. I already have a pattern picked out that I want to work on. I already know what yarn I want to use. It is going to be another shawl with one of the twister cakes. So hopefully if I do finish that shell shawl, say that 10 times fast, I will start another shawl this month, and that would be really great as we go more into spring, having more shawls to choose from. And then the last thing I want to talk about, which everyone is talking about, is the Hobby Lobby clearance. So I did go today to my Hobby Lobby. Well, actually, let me go back to Saturday. I went to Hobby Lobby on Saturday when, you know, on Friday, Saturday, everyone was doing their hauls and coming out. I did go Saturday, and you can only imagine my excitement when I saw red stickers when I was walking up to the yarn section on an end cap. So I'm excited because I'm like, I see that red sticker, and it's not something you can confuse, right? So I got so excited, and I went into the aisle, and I saw no other red stickers. And I said, okay, what's going on? So I think my Hobby Lobby, it looks like they started literally with like that one end cap of yarn, but they haven't finished it yet. So I went back today, and it was the same end cap with that yarn that had the red stickers. It was the same yarn, hadn't been moved or touched, and no other yarn in the yarn aisles had been marked down. So I went to go look at some beads and a manager was there. So while I was looking for beads, and she was there, and I said, hi, I'm sorry to bother you. Like, can I ask you a question? Do you know when they're going to be marking down the yarn? And she said, well, they've already started. And I was like, yeah, I saw some stickers over there. And she was like, yeah, they kind of hop around. I was like, yeah, you know, worked out that y'all are going to be marking down a lot of this yarn. So, you know, she's like, it'll happen. She just said essentially, if there's anything I'm looking for, to keep checking back. So that's what I'm going to do for the next couple days. I'm going to check back. And if I miss it, I miss it. If I catch it, I catch it. So that's also, you know, a goal. There are some yarns that I've, you know, been watching hauls that I'm going to have my eye out for, that I would love to get my hands on. But if I don't, that's okay too, because we are committed to pulling from our stash. And look how beautiful pulling from your stash can be. You know, don't be afraid to go back and, you know, make it a point to go back and look at those yarns that you've had sitting there for a long time. You got a year ago, 2 years ago. Sometimes I find trying to use yarns that I've had for a long time, I'm looking at them again like they're a yarn I just got. So, you know, go dig through your stash, y'all. You never know what you will find or what you will be inspired by. So those are all the updates I have for today. Thank you so much for joining me over here at Simply Stitch Crochet. Again, thank you to all my subscribers, new subscribers, for coming and spending just a little bit of time with me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Happy crocheting. Bye.